We're here this afternoon on the State of Ohio versus Roger D. Ward, here pursuant to a motion for sanctions that was filed by Mr. Ward. Just a little bit of history on this for the record. These cases, which involved one criminal violation and then 3 different traffic citations, those cases were dismissed previously, and that was back in, I believe, in June. But in any event, there's been a couple of motions for sanctions. When the cases were dismissed, I had prepared an entry directing the release of the vehicles in question, which were, it was a Dodge pickup truck and also an enclosed trailer. And those are still in impound because there were some holdups on that. And here today on behalf of the State of Ohio.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Jordan Waddell, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. And Mr. Ward, you're here. Thanks for coming in. And you're here without an attorney.
Yes, yes,
before. You good to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I thought it'd be good to come in person because Mr. Ward, on your last motion, I just did an entry on it and sent it in, and specifically that was that the truck could be released upon proof of ownership, and the trailer could be released upon presenting of a bill of sale, because trailers don't generally have titles. So, and with regard, it's my understanding where we stand right now with regard to the truck, and we'll talk about these separately. You couldn't show ownership of the truck, but so you filed another motion. We determined that you are the owner of the truck from BMV records, so we're over that part of it. It's my understanding that at this point the holdup is that the truck is not licensed or maybe not insured, and the impound fee, there's an impound fee due somebody. I think a small fee to the court maybe, and then fee to wherever it's being stored. I think I remember, Mr. Ward, you telling me when we were here for the hearing where the case was dismissed that you had paid all the impound fees.
Correct. On January 6th, I think the story, it says, I got the receipt here, it says, I paid the impound, tow, storage, and administration fees.
Okay. And is there any word on the status of that? I'm thinking maybe there's other fees that have been incurred since the original was paid.
Your Honor, I believe that Chief Henchman have more knowledge about that than I would at this time.
Okay, and just for the record, your name is?
Chief Brett Hinch of the Jackson Police Department.
Okay, thank you. And what do you know about this?
The ownership of the truck was never in question. It was the tags, the insurance, and the fact that Mr. Ward implied that he wanted to drive the vehicle out. Those fees have never been paid. Those fees have never been paid. Those fees have never been paid.
Where do I go? Where's the impound at?
Well, I mean, the actual impound,
To get my truck back.
you go here to get it out.
Okay.
Okay. You want to get it out today?
How much is it?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay, yeah.
210 today.
Okay, yeah, I'll pay that.
Okay, do you have the exact change?
I don't know.
If I have change.
I may have
We usually don't keep change.
210. Yep, 210.
Okay. Can I just see your ticket so I can have the info for the receipt?
Those fees have never been paid. And there's been, your order previously, I didn't know whether you were implying that he should not have to pay those fees, or whether he should, whether he should comply with the impound policy of the Jackson Police Department and City of Jackson, or whether he should not. So I'm glad that we're here today to get clarification and understanding. The trailer that is in there does not match any of the paperwork that Mr. Ward has presented to the police department, including the VIN. He's shown a bill, he's shown a receipt from Tractor Supply, as I look, and then it came with a VIN number as well, but the VIN is not even close to what's in there. That trailer has been registered to the BMP to another person, and that would be the presumptive owner until somebody could show that Mr. Ward owns that trailer. That itself would have the same impound fee up to this point. And there's been, your order previously, I didn't know whether you were implying that he should not have to pay those fees, or whether he should, whether he should comply with the impound policy of the Jackson Police Department and City of Jackson, or whether he should not. So I'm glad that we're here today to get clarification and understanding.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it is my understanding that the standard procedure is, and this is done by, I think, a prior entry from the court, that there has to be insurance and tags for a vehicle to be released from impound. So that's just my understanding of what the standard procedure is that applies to everybody.
But the standard procedure, not the law, Your Honor. There's no law that compels me to register my vehicle, especially if I'm going to have it towed, which I told him. I have two videos showing that I said I was going to have my vehicles towed out of the impound after the paid receipt.
Oh, okay, so my question is then, was the vehicle being held, or could Mr. Ward have come to get it at any
The
time?
vehicle was been eligible for release from the time that we impounded it. Had these things been corrected. I advised Mr. Ward of that, and I believe it was the following day after his arrest that he came in. He didn't believe at the time that he needed to comply with that. And I'm not going to dispute that he has mentioned in one of the trips in there that he would put it on a tow truck, but then we're back to the fees. And the trailer, I can't release a trailer that I can't prove belongs to him. I mean, unless ordered so by this court.
Well, and that is an issue. Are you maintaining the bill of sale?
Right here is the receipt for the bill of sale.
Okay, well, I can't read that far away. Hold on. That's okay. I'll take a look at it. Thanks. Am I seeing a VIN number on, or serial number for the trailer on this receipt here?
They gave me when I bought it.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Ward presented this document as well with the bill of sale.
Okay.
To us that has a VIN for a trailer.
That is the one I took back. It's on that receipt. I took one back and got the bigger one.
Okay, so this thing that you presented, did you trade in a trailer?
Yeah, I bought that one, and then I took it back because it was too small, and I bought the bigger one, and then then I switched it out. You can see on the receipt where they refunded so much of the money.
Yeah, so this is for the one that's in impound?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Distribute those.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
If the trailer that he had if he bought a trailer and then took it back and traded out trailers at what I'm believing is Tractor Supply by the receipt.
Yes.
My question would be, how did the trailer that I have in impound ever get registered to another person?
Because of the person that made it. Because of the person that made it, I guess, and whoever made it when they gave it to Tractor Supply.
Well, could it be a manufacturer's certificate of origin? That's how those things come.
Actually,
Come to the
according,
dealers.
if I may dig back through the documentation here, there's an extensive amount of documentation, but according to leads on the trailer. I have to go back and find it. vehicle. It was a named individual with an address that is not. It was a normal issue sticker with an expiration of 5/10 of 2003 to a person out of Piketon, Ohio.
Okay, so you're looking at that it was licensed.
The trailer that is an impound has been licensed to an individual who is not Mr. Ward. And if the receipt is a new purchase from Tractor Supply, I'm not aware of Tractor Supply selling used trailers, even if they had, there should have been a process much like you could buy a used vehicle to get that stuff transferred. That trailer is still registered to this person. If this person were to arrive at my impound according to the policy and were to pay the $3,105 due today, I would have to release that trailer to him as long as he was able to put either valid tags on it or put it on the back of a tow truck. That's according to our policy. So I've not seen any proof that the trailer that's in my impound is Mr. Ward's, which is why I've been hesitant to release it.
Understand. That's why I'm glad we're here.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to point out that he said that it has to be registered to even, be put on the road, but when they impounded it, the tow truck driver hooked it to his truck and pulled it on the road, untagged, unlicensed, unregistered. So I don't understand why there's special privileges for them, but not for the citizens of the Jacksons here.
Was that trailer used or new?
It was new. I bought it new at Tractor Supply.
And it was new in 2020?
I don't know when it was new. When I bought it, right when the receipt said I bought it, that's when I bought it.
Okay. I remember seeing that trailer in some of the photos that you had previously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them with me right now,
Right.
but can you describe it for me?
It's an open trailer. It's just a car trailer, single axle.
Okay, single axle open, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I couldn't exactly remember what it looked like.
It's the one that's set in the parking lot of Tractor Supply. They set out front there. It's one of those.
Yeah, it has a gate that swings
Yeah,
down
drops
the back.
down,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thanks. And the trailer was licensed back in 2000?
I don't have complete history on it. I do know that this one was registered, according to this, the trailer was purchased 7/1 of 2021. The trailer that's in my impound was, according to DMV records, was purchased 7/1 of 2021 and has been registered to a person out of Piketon, Ohio ever since.
Any explanation about that?
I don't know why, unless they misread it then or whatever, but 'cause I bought that brand new.
Okay. So, anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, Your Honor, I believe if you have follow-up questions, I'm ready to try to answer those.
Oh, okay, thanks. So are you, well, what it sounds like the holdup is now, because you're willing to go with a tow truck or rollback and get that truck out
I
there.
say that, yeah,
And the same for the trailer, I'm assuming.
correct.
How long is the trailer?
I'm not sure. It'll fit on a rollback. I mean,
Maybe 10?
yeah, 10, 12 foot somewhere.
Okay, so I think where we're stuck now is the impound fees. You obviously don't want to pay that.
No, I mean, the case was dismissed and, I paid it from the beginning. They just wouldn't let me have my vehicles in. And, what I'm concerned with is that the dismay of the court order, and it constitutes, could possibly constitute federal felonies under 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242 of what they're doing against my rights. That's what's concerning me with their, their policies.
Well, you would have to go talk to the U.S. Marshals about that
Mm-hmm.
to see if they would file something, if that's what you think a remedy is.
Right.
But we're not going to deal with that here.
Correct.
So, are you willing to pay some impound fees?
No, Your Honor, because the case was dismissed. I didn't do anything wrong, and I paid this on January 6th, and then, they wouldn't let me tow my property out of there.
How much are the impound fees? So much a day?
According to the policy here, which I which hangs in our window. Starting September 1st of 2022, the service director changed the order for under 10,000 pounds is $125 for the towing fee, daily storage fee of $15, which is under the ORC allowed maximum, an administrative fee of $25, and an after-hour retrieval fee, an extra $50 would be added should somebody come outside of 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. That would not be necessarily applicable, but with the impound fees, with the daily fee, that's what makes the value go up. After 10 days, the administrative fee is because we send letters out after 10 days, according to the ORC. If they're not redeemed, we can file to have the vehicles surrendered to us, forfeited to us, and then we go through a process to sell that property.
And so you haven't done that?
We have not done that.
Okay.
I've been advised by counsel with other pending actions that it would be best to hold on to them for right now.
Okay.
I believe some of the letters may have been sent just in an automatic process before we knew all of this. I will not dispute that he did come in and pay for the trailer.
Where do I go? Where's the impound at
Well, I mean, the actual impound,
to get my truck back?
you go here to get it out.
Okay.
Okay. You want to get it out today?
How much is it?
I have to look it up.
Okay, yeah.
210 today.
Okay, yeah, I'll pay that.
Did you pay for the truck as well?
Yes.
How
It
much?
says an impound fee, towing, storage, and administration fees,
And how much was that?
$210 on January 6th.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure.
That is for one of the 2 impound. Each one was on an individual. I don't have his current receipt right on in front of me. I'll have to sort through my stack, but it should have an impound number on it. That was for one of the 2. The one that he had actually paid for is the trailer, which we then did not release.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'd like to also note, I got on radio that, after I paid this fee, I went to the impound and they was going to release it, and then Mr. Officer Taylor wouldn't release it because I didn't have a registration and tax.
Talk about the trailer?
Yeah, so this receipt, they was already going to release both of those, and I have it on video that day.
Okay, so did you pay for the truck?
I paid for both of them.
Okay.
That was this receipt, because they was going to release them that day on January 6th, because I left the police department after getting this receipt, and then Mr. Officer Taylor met me down at the impound and opened the gates, and then he asked me if I had my tags for it, and I said no. Well, then he locked the gates back up and told me to go back up and talk to Chief Hicks.
The officer saying you didn't pay for both, you just paid for one.
Well,
How did you pay?
that's not true.
How-
Receipt right here. Why was they going to release both? I had the video.
Your Honor, does this receipt have an specific impound reference number to it?
I don't know.
The receipt that he's got right there that he's stating, if he has an actual number, I can match that up.
2795.
Yeah, the impound number 2795.
Okay, yeah, I now have a copy of that as well. So if I go to impound record, these prints. So,
This is for the truck.
That's for both of them. They told me because they were going to release both that day.
2794 was the truck, 2795 was the trailer.
No.
So do you have another receipt?
That's what they gave me that day, and then I went and sent it to the impound to release it.
Okay. What does that say? Oh. That's a cash, yeah, cash. Thanks. And could I get copies of those before,
Yes, sure.
when we're done here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And, you probably haven't seen those either, so we'll get you a copy.
Okay.
Mr. Ward, there anything else you'd like to say? This is your motion.
Yeah, I'd like to read this in here. We find ourselves here today before the court not because of any actions taken by me, but due to the repeated disregard of explicit court orders of Prosecutor Randy Dupree and Brett Hinch. On June 2nd, this court issued an order dismissing all cases against me, explicitly directing the release of my property. Yet, despite the clarity of the directive, the City Police Department has refused to comply with this order under the guidance of the Prosecutor Dupree and Brett Hinch. In good faith, I filed a motion and sanction against these parties for the non-compliance on June 7th. I then followed with a request for a show cause hearing on June 13th, 2023. The court, again recognizing the righteousness of my position, issued a second order on June 20th, 2023, demanding the release of my truck and trailer. Yet, for the second time, I was denied my rightful property on June 24th, 2023, due to the directive of Prosecutor Dupree and Brett Hinch. We find ourselves here today because my rights have been trampled upon. The authority of the court has been undermined and the principle of due process has been flouted. The ongoing refusal to release my property has caused me undue hardship and unnecessary delay, and I'm here today to ask this court to impose appropriate sanctions against Prosecutor Randy Dupree, Brett Hinch, and the City Police Department, and to award myself the cost of the motion for the request of this hearing and that I had to file to their noncompliance. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. Is there anything that you wanted to present?
Yes, Your Honor. From our understanding and from after speaking with Chief Hinch, the JPD has no issues with returning the truck or the trailer, so to speak. They're just requesting that we have valid tags, insurance, licensed driver, or we have a tow in place. Those are just the rules that, like you stated, that most courts abide by under these circumstances. Chief Hinch has said himself that he is perfectly capable of releasing those two vehicles and property, so to speak, but without that information, we're allowing Mr. Ward to drive out uninsured with no license on state roads. That could cause an issue. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Your Honor, also, the right to contract is with the people, and they're trying to compel me to contract with the state. That's against my rights also. I just want to note that on the record.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Now, I want to finish this up here by some sworn testimony, and then what I'm going to do is take this matter under advisement and then issue a written decision on it, and that will be disseminated to everybody involved here. So, Mr. Ward, let me have you raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer unto God.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Now, we've been talking about this, and before we recess here, I'd also like to get a copy of your bill of sale for the trailer.
Okay.
Is it your testimony that you bought that trailer new from Tractor Supply?
Yes.
And what was the date of that?
It's on the receipt. I'm not exactly sure off memory.
It was in 2020, I think?
Something like that.
The date I'll be seeing on the receipt is accurate.
Yes.
Okay. And you traded in another trailer that was too small, and you got this one, paid the difference.
Correct.
Okay. And the receipt that I saw, that you paid $210 to the impound
Correct.
back in January.
Correct.
Okay, so, and is that all you've paid them?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's all the questions I have.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll give you the opportunity to ask any questions if you'd like, so, since I pretty much did an examination there. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So, once again, what I'll do is take this matter under advisement, going to issue the written decision, and that will be mailed out. I was thinking I might be able to do that just here today before I leave, but I think it's a little bit more involved.
Yeah,
than
I-
that because of what we've been talking about here.
I'd like to also note on the record that the conflict of interest with the prosecutor representing Mr. Hanson in this hearing. I just want to note it for the record.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure, that's fine. And, anything else?
That's all.
All right, well, the court will stand in recess.